All right, good morning and welcome to the University of Hong Kong Faculty of Engineering. This is an admission talk, so we're going to introduce various programs of the faculty, and we're also going to talk about why you should choose engineering and why you should choose Hong Kong U. So who wants to become a student at Hong Kong U? Raise up your hand. Who wants? Come on, don't be shy. Show your hands, okay? That's why you're here, right? You want to study at Hong Kong U, right? Okay, good. Then, today we're going to introduce the various programs to you. Let me also introduce the speakers, right? So I'm Dirk Schnieders, Dr. Dirk Schnieders from the Department of Computer Science at the Faculty of Engineering. And today we also have Dr. IDAY, who will talk as well later on and talk about the various programs in more specific details. First of all, let me ask you a question. Who knows when the Faculty of Engineering was established? In what year was the Faculty of Engineering established? Does somebody know? Who knows? You read it somewhere, right? It's not too difficult because it's the same year as, 1911, exactly, right? That's right. So it's actually a long history. And this is really one of our strengths. Having a long history, that means we have a lot of alumni, a lot of past graduates, one of which is here, and we'll talk later. And that's good, right? Because if you think about it, many of those alumni, they are now in top management positions in big companies. They're working, they're key leaders in the industry and politics as well, right? So that is good because it allows you, as a graduate from Hong Kong U later on, it allows you to build your professional network. And that can be very beneficial, potentially, for your career. Okay? All right, so I'm going to talk about why you should choose Hong Kong U Engineering. I told you already one of the reasons, the long history. Okay? It's more than 100 years already. These are the various departments that we have within the faculty. Okay, and you can see the faculty was established in 1911, and then later on we actually got a few new departments, one of which, for example, is computer science. Okay, so this is one of the newer departments that we have. Myself, I work in machine learning. So engineering is ever evolving, right? So we have new technologies that are coming out and changing very quickly, potentially having a very huge impact on society. So in terms of ranking, pretty good. #1 in Hong Kong, right? That's good. And globally ranked also very well, as you can see here. One of the reasons we rank so well is because of our students. We have excellent students coming from all over the world. For example, within our faculty, we have more than 20 students from more than 20 countries and regions, and within Hong Kong U, more than 100 countries and regions. So it's very international, and that's important. When you're a student here, you will be working in groups. For example, for some of the courses, you have to form a group, you have to solve problems together, and it's good to have a diverse group, right? You can learn from other students that come from different background, okay? And you will really learn to see the strength in diversity, which is something very important. Another reason why we are ranked so high is our excellent professors, world-class professors. So here are some numbers you can see, for example, in terms of citations, top 1% researchers in the world. So there's no doubt we got the best professors in the respective fields, many of which actually have received international awards, okay, as a recognition of their excellence in research. So we talked about professors, right? Let's talk about your opportunities now, right? So if you're a student here, you can, of course, you will study at Hong Kong U, but you also are given the opportunity to go abroad, to do an exchange semester. So this is quite common. Many students are doing this. And we have a list of institutes all over the world they can choose from Hong Kong U level, but also within our faculty, we have there's an additional list that supplements the list from Hong Kong U. So there are actually more schools available. Okay, so for example, think about where you want to go. Of course, the most beautiful place in the world, right? Germany. Okay, you can see 3 schools in Germany, right? Very good. So excellent. In addition, we also have experiential learning. This is actually something very important. So you will have to go. You don't have to, but we provide you with the opportunity to do research. Okay, so this is quite different if you compare, university life, let's say, to secondary school or high school. At university, you have professors that are doing research. They're extending the knowledge, right? And you will also be given the opportunity to do research as well. Okay, so this is just one of those opportunities that you have, a research internship. And you can do so in HKU or at our partner institutes. So here's a list of partner institutes that we have. Non-research internships are also very important in the industry, right? So we have, this is actually required by many of the programs in our faculty. You will have to do an internship typically in your year 3. So you go out for 6 to 8 weeks working in one of the companies. And here's a list of our partners that provide the training for our students. We're very fortunate to have this innovation wing, right? So this is the TAM wing Fun Innovation Wing. And here we have a huge space where you can actually work with state-of-the-art equipment. Okay, so you can work in groups, solving problems, participate in competitions, for example. And this is an amazing space with a lot of technology and equipment. And now, if you're interested, you can actually join the tour. There will be a tour, so you can sign up for it and do the tour today to view what's going on at the Innovation Wing. The Innovation Wing is actually part of the Innovation Academy. All right, so this is actually a very important platform where you can engage with teachers and also with stakeholders from the industry to pitch your ideas and maybe even become an entrepreneur, maybe starting your own startup company. So that's what the Innovation Wing is about, and the Innovation Academy. Now, here are a few pictures for other experiential learning activities. So you can see some of our students, they join trips. Some of them are overseas to do experiential learning. These are field trips. Here are also a few more pictures from international competitions as well that our students participated in. All right, so next I'm going to give the floor to Dr. IDAY, who will give you more specifics on our programs.
Okay, thank you, Dirk, for the introduction. Yes, so now I will introduce you more about the programs and the curriculums in HKU engineering. So right now we offer 6 engineering programs. So the largest one with the code JS6963. So that's the biggest program in Bachelor of Engineering. So in this program, the first year is common for all the students, and then the students will choose their engineering disciplines from in their second year. Yeah, and there's an encouraging news that most of our students, you see here, 95% will be able to choose their favorite or second favorite choices. Yeah, and other than the Bachelor of Engineering program in the first row, yeah, we also have the Engineering Science program, Biomedical Engineering program, the Financial Technology program, and the Global Engineering and Business program. The last one is a new one as well. So that's the Data Science and Engineering program. So this figure shows our curriculum design. So in the first year, you can see that it is the widest. Yeah, it shows some basic engineering core courses and some university common core courses. Yeah, so the reason is that we want to give a good foundation, a more general foundation, but with important basic knowledge for all our engineering students. And then from their second year, they will choose their disciplines, the engineering disciplines that they are interested in. So they will go to different areas, maybe computer engineering, computer science, industrial engineering, or some other programs. Yeah, and after that, in the third year, they will actually do an internship alongside with their study. So it will give them more practical experience. And in the fourth year, they will also complete a final year project. So you see, this is like a pyramid. Yeah, so we start from something more basic, and then the students will be more and more specialized in the topics that they are interested in, and they will earn their specialization. So other than the major subjects that the students are focusing on, they will actually have a minor options. So students studying in our faculty can actually take minor from other engineering disciplines in the same faculty or from other faculties. Yes, so you can see a big table with different minor options. And I can highlight, for example, data science and engineering and urban infrastructure informatics. These two are new minor options since last year. So other than minor options, some students might be even interested in taking a second major. So actually there are 4 programs within our faculty allow our students to do that, including computer science, engineering science, data science and engineering, and fintech programs. So students in these 4 programs have options to take either minor or a second major. Yes, so you may ask, so how can I fulfill a second major requirements? So normally you will take 12 to 16 additional courses to fulfill this requirement. And this is something that you might pay attention to. Yes, so say what kind of subjects you may have to take if you want to enter HKU engineering. So for example, I want to highlight physics here. So physics is an elective subject that is required if you want to enter HKU engineering. So, but you may also pay attention, say if you might be interested in engineering science, fintech, or maybe data science and engineering. So this might not be necessary. And another thing to pay attention is this selection criteria. So most of the programs will count the best 5, but the fintech program will count best 6 subjects. Okay, so you may pay attention to the requirements and select the programs that are suitable for you and you are interested in. There's another highlight I want to mention here. So, you know, Hong Kong, you always take the top students in Hong Kong. Yeah, and it is also recognized internationally. That's why we have this elite program between Hong Kong U and Cambridge. This is a very special and unique undergraduate recruitment scheme. So each year, actually, some students, top students in our engineering faculty will be selected to join this Hong Kong U and Cambridge joint undergraduate program. So this program will offer students first 2 years studying in Hong Kong U and then the last 3 years in Cambridge. And the good thing is that the students will actually be awarded with 3 degrees after completing these 5 years of study. 1 from Hong Kong U, that's the Bachelor of Engineering degree, and then 2 from Cambridge, including Master of Engineering and a Bachelor of Arts with honors degrees. So if you're interested in that, actually many students are interested in this program after joining Hong Kong U Engineering, and it will be a great opportunity for you to explore. Yeah, so let me see. Okay, so it's already the end of my presentation. Yeah, time flies. Yeah, so I hope that you enjoy our brief introduction, and you are welcome to stay and look around our labs and talk to our students and alumni. And I really hope that we can see you in Hong Kong U Engineering in the coming academic year. Yeah, so and now we are very pleased to have the student and alumni sharing session. We are pleased to have Santiago, our existing CS students, who can share his experience studying here. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. So I'm going to share something slightly different. So I'm going to share basically why HKU and why engineering, but more from a student perspective. Just 1 second for the PowerPoint. So yeah, just like a quick introduction for who I am so you can get a little bit of context. I'm Santiago. Hi, everyone. I'm a final year computer science student. I've been in Hong Kong 11 years, so I'm technically a local, but don't speak enough Cantonese for the time I've been here. I also took DSE like a lot of you, but I actually entered through Hong Kong U Space. I didn't have grades good enough to get into HKU, so I went 1 year into Hong Kong U Space, and then I applied to HKU and transferred over. Anyway, I'll get into that in a bit later. I also, this is actually my 5th year in HKU. I deferred for a year so I could get more work experience. This is an option for a lot of you. On top of already doing the internship during the summer, like Dirk mentioned earlier, you can also defer it for a semester or two in order to work and earn more work experience. So why engineering and why HKU? Personally speaking, when I was right out of high school, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I knew I liked math, I liked computers, I liked building and disassembling things, but I really didn't know what it meant to go into engineering and learn computer science. It was all just very confusing and it was very overwhelming. But I ended up choosing engineering and computer science in HKU at the end. And I think it's the right choice just because I do like computers a lot. But I just want to let you know that it may be confusing or it may be a little bit overwhelming. You might not be sure about your choices, but getting into HKU might be the right step for you to figure out what you want and end up with a good career. Specifically, engineering is a good path to go forward because it gives you a lot of flexibility on the type of work that you can do. So for example, with computer science, you can go into many, many different industries because there's always a need for computer science majors. You know, you can always do IT, you can do cybersecurity, you can do machine learning. There's lots and lots of companies that you can go into. Yeah, and for me, why HKU? For me specifically, it was the balance between the world-class education. We do have world-class lecturers and professors and research. And that was one of the reasons why I applied to HKU. But at the same time, I figured that because it's in Central and because I knew some people already in HKU, I found out that there's a very good social life here. With COVID being the exception the last 2 years, everything has been a little bit on pause. But apart from that, HKU actually has really good social life. And it's a very good way, not just of making friends, that's important too, but also of making connections and making connections in the industry, which is very, very important if you want to get a good job, or at least if you want to learn where you want to go. In order to find out what you want to do, you need to try things. And in order to try things, you know, you need to do internships, you need to reach out, you need to do research. We have a lot of opportunities in HKU to do that. Yeah, and just, I mean, as a quick overview of what I've done in HKU, yeah, I'm in my final year, I'm doing my final year project, but most of what I do for my assignments or for my FYP is this, staring at a terminal in a computer. Sure, not everyone will like it. You know, maybe your interest is engineering, electrical engineering or mechanical engineering. But I like computer science and I like computers. And this is what I do a lot of the time, just work on a terminal on a computer. But I just wanted to point out that I'm not sure if anyone's familiar with this, but it just shows a server that I have access to as part of my final year project. It's a very, very powerful computer. And you know, thankfully, my supervisor gave me access to it, but it just shows the resources that you have access to here in Hong Kong U. I wouldn't have access to a computer this powerful in order to do my research or, well, my final year project if I was just doing it by myself. But anyway, on the other side and on my final side, social life, as difficult as it has been with COVID the last 2 years, that still hasn't killed the connections that I have. Like I've still made a ton of friends in HKU. Every time I walk, in like Central, I meet people from HKU, or I meet my friends, just passing by. So it's a really, really good opportunity for you to get to know people, for you to learn, for you to get prepared for the workforce, and to also find out what you really want to do. And that's critical. And just as a final point, going back real quick to my first slide, as you can see, like my university journey has not been simple. It hasn't been, like I got out of DSE, I applied through JUPAS, and I got into HKU, right? It was like a bit convoluted. I had to go to HKU space. I'm in my 5th year. I deferred for a year. The point that I want to make is that not everyone's journey is going to be the same. And don't feel pressured to think that there is a right way of doing university or a right way of doing life. Figure out what is good for you and do it, because nobody will tell you what to do and there's no right way of doing things. Yeah, that's it for me. Thank you very much. And yes. And yeah, now we have Leon to talk about his capstones project.
So, good morning, everyone. I'm Won Leon, and I'm studying an MPhil degree in mechanical engineering at the University of Hong Kong under the supervision of Professor Caleb Chow. And my main research area is crystal wave and storm surge modeling. Here is an example of the simulation that I went to study the nearshore wave dynamics on a sloping surface. And before my postgraduate study, I obtained a bachelor degree in mechanical engineering at the University of Hong Kong. So the reason why I would choose mechanical engineering was because mechanical engineering has diverse disciplines. For example, fluid mechanics, robotics, aerospace engineering, building service engineering, material science, and energy and environmental engineering, etc. So you can choose the area or subject you like to study according to your own interests. And now I will share my experience in my capstone project in my final year study. So the objective of the project is to investigate the impact of the urban window and its effectiveness in enhancing ventilation on the pedestrian level. So what is an urban window? An urban window refers to a through hole in the buildings to allow inflow to pass through it. Here's two examples of the urban window on building envelopes. So during the project, my teams conducted different research by various methodologies. First, we conducted a literature review, which means we conducted a series of desktop analysis or study on the material that's related to our project. For example, research paper or textbook that are related to the information on urban window in Hong Kong or some basic fluid mechanics. And then because the interested urban window was located in Tsuen Wan, Hong Kong, so we also conducted a site inspection or site visit to have a look on the actual environment of the urban window. And finally, we conducted a series of simulation by computational fluid dynamics, which is a mathematical tool and numerical scheme to study fluid flow behavior. And here are some examples of the simulation that we generated in this project. So first, we generated a simulation with a small scale study, which only includes a single building. And you can see here is an urban window. It allows air to pass through it. So the arrow represents the flow direction and the color represents the velocity magnitude. And red represents a higher velocity and blue represents a lower velocity. And apart from a single building, we also conduct a larger scale study, which includes parts of Tsuen Wan. And the results show that the effectiveness of urban window in enhancing ventilation depends on the, for example, wind direction, the position of urban window, as well as the building orientation. So after this project, our team consolidates our fundamental knowledge of fluid mechanics. We also learn some practical engineering skills. For example, how to operate CFD software and Fluent to study fluid flow problem. And we also learned how to use computer-aided design software SolidWorks to build the model of the cities or buildings. And finally, it was a great opportunity to practice our communication skills by communicating with our supervisor as well as collaborating with our teammates. So this is the end of my sharing. Thank you.